This is the Creativity Show. So happy you're here. Today we're going to do a tour of the Emerald Lady after I do a little stencil for you, in front of you, with you, in these what I like to think of as virtual visits. I love to hear from you, your questions, your responses, suggestions. It does feel like connecting with you in a ecological and economical way. We don't have to drive anywhere, fly anywhere to connect, which is good for us and good for the planet. So let us start with doing a stencil design on a curtain. And then we're going to walk through the Emerald Lady and show you all the different ways I've used stencils today to celebrate that my Patreon membership is up, meaning you can join as a member for $5 a month and have access to all my stencil designs. We have 10 up right now, and we're going to keep them coming out. I have 300 designs, so instead of paying $3 a piece for each design, you can join for $5 a month and get all the designs. There's 10 out now, so you start out saving $25, and then they're going to keep coming out. So this water lily that I'm putting on a curtain, we're going to just do that right now. I have not done a stencil design on a sheer curtain like this before, so I like to keep learning, keep trying different stuff, and keep enjoying the adventure of creativity, which is we're not sure how it's going to turn out until we do it. And we give ourselves permission to keep exploring our curiosities, keep expressing our creativity, making our home, workplace environments more beautiful, functional, inspiring, sharing our like you, which I also like to do with my wardrobe. It's an opportunity to express our creativity, share what inspires us. I'm inspired by nature, and I love being an advocate of nature, a voice for nature, by having it be my teacher. Inspired by nature. All right, so we need to keep that little lily pad from flipping up. That's one of the things with stenciling we have to be careful of is getting the paint where we cut out space that these SVGs that are now available give you an ability to download these designs, and your Cricut cutter or other sorts of stencil cutting machines, or a razor blade, which is how I started, a hot knife. I moved on to, when I did what we're going to show you next, is a banner that I hung here in the living room with peace in 48 different languages. And I moved on to a hot knife to do that because that was a lot of stencil cutting. Then I moved on to a Cricut machine when I realized I was gonna do this in a big way, create 300 designs. And one of the things I love about stenciling, besides that you can use it in so many different ways, home decor, clothing, signs, promote your business, your ideas. It's also something I can share with you because I've always had a attraction to distilling forms. And when we go into the dining room, I'm going to show you my very, very, very first piece of art. And you're going to see what it comes naturally to me, which is, as my publisher friend calls me, the distiller. I like minimalism. I like to, my very first drawings were birds and plants. I tried to do lines that looked like they could grow or lines that looked like they could fly. And I tried to do the plants and birds in as few lines as possible to communicate their essence. So I'm sort of cut out for stencil design, my aesthetic. All right, we're gonna see how this one went. Not as clear as, it's an odd fabric. I'm going to continue working on it after it dries. If I put this back down now, I could smudge it. So I'm not going to. I'm going to put it on my paper towel over here so I don't let it dry and then come back to it later and give it another pass.
Good idea.
So, meanwhile,
We got one last thing to do in the office, and then.
All right. Go for it. I'm getting the silver paint off my fingers. I work on a piece of glass so that the paint that goes through the fabric doesn't go onto the table. Are we ready for touring?
We are.
Okay. All right, let's start here in the Emerald Lady's living room and showing the banner of the 48 different languages of peace. Maybe while I go wash my silver off, you could tell them why I cut these and what we did with that project.
Sure. She hand cut each of these. This was before we had the stencil cutter. She hand cut piece in all these different languages for a project with the Woodland Hills Youth Center in Duluth. I believe it's also called the Hills Youth Center. And so she made these stencils for the students or participants, the youth, to participate in art projects. And so this was her test before the actual event. And the different classes made banners, floor-to-ceiling banners with all the different languages that they hung in their cafeteria. So this was a volunteer art project. I'll show you some other cool items. This is kind of a non sequitur, but here we've got this stick that she found out on a hike that she added fairy lights to. And it's like a wizard staff. I love that. And then let's show you some other stencils. If you guys tuned in last time, you probably saw these. And those are some of her botanical stencils. Oh, excuse me. Her botanical stencils. And then here, we've got this really nice wood inlay that she did. Let's get some close-ups of this. And here's just a wide of this living room where she does her live streams. You guys often are looking this direction, but let's turn you around and see what the other side of the room looks like. So we got the front facing window and more fairy lights. And here's her hand-carved feather vase. And this is the entertainment cabinet, full of all the tools for one's imagination. Pencils, pens, paints, instruments, and all sorts of fun product prototypes. And it's nice to have easels around so that all the different pieces of art can find homes without having to be put on the walls, which, as you can see, the wall space is used. All right.
Thank you for doing that. I turned on some lights so we can continue the tour. You saw this room. Let's move on to, let's show you the gallery next. In here, we have these 4 kimonos. I'm working on a project that I call The Essence of Everything, inspired by nature. Again, my muse. And this is the 4 seasons.
One moment, guys. Why did that happen? Huh. Let me make a quick adjustment to the gimbal. Doesn't seem to like how I've got the phone balanced. Oh, that's much better. Much better.
Well, you guys can't see the gimbal that Bodhi has. 2 cameras, 2 phone cameras.
I could show them in the mirror.
Sure. Yeah, come show them instead of me describing it. There you go.
So we've got the iPhone that we're going live from on a mobile phone gimbal attached to a monopod so that we can stand it here. I've got a little joystick here so I can pan and tilt. And then we've got an on-camera light here. And then we've got another iPhone here for checking the comments and making sure we're going live everywhere. And I can hear the live stream on my wireless headphones. And then we've got a battery to keep the light and the phone plugged in. So yeah, it's a lot.
All right, let's go back to the many uses for stencils. Well, there's this outfit I'm in, which is the wildflowers from the warbler and wildflower collection I did of 26 regional warblers and wildflowers. Now I'm working on the 4 seasons. So here's winter, represented by cranes and evergreens. And then here's spring, fish and flowers. And then here's summer, dragonflies and grasses. And then here's autumn, which is the deer and maple leaves. So that's another way stencils can be used on clothing. And I have these Clare Cooley collection, some of my very first stencils that hung when I did shows at the International Gift Show. So that's it. Come show them the original piece of art, Freedom Flight, that I did for a performance I was asked to conceive and direct for the Napa Valley Art Council. And I did this drawing that then became the poster and invitation. And then I turned the wings into a stencil, which we'll see some examples of it when we go upstairs. So, including the cover of my memoir, Incandescence, Rising Above Darkness. There's my mother, my beautiful and kind, cute, funny, sweet, brilliant mother. We should all love our mothers, but some are easier to admire than others. Not all mothers are always compassionate, always understanding, but my mother was. So she's an impossible bar for me to reach, but I'm going to ever try.
Great.
Let us go through the dining room. And in the dining room, speaking of my mother and younger sister made those handmade Christmas ornaments that I'm not going to fully take down the ornaments of this season, well, till I feel like it, which may happen in spring. And then I'll change the all-season tree to a spring tree, and it'll probably get flowers on it or butterflies. Who knows? I like to keep it moving, keep it having fun, expressing myself. So my very first painting, First Bird, happened when I was watching this man who was heading for the dumpster to throw out these inks. And I said, don't throw those away. And he said, why? What could you do with them? And I put a piece of paper on the floor and picked 3 ink bottles out and poured them from the bottles onto the paper on the floor. And that bird came out. And it was before I had done anything but Sumi brushstroke meditations. So that is obviously my natural aesthetic, is the simple. So let's show you one stencil idea here in our messy kitchen. Forgive us for not being perfect. Let's show them the platter and then we'll go upstairs. That platter was done with my leaf stencils. So it's sandblasted, so there's a rough tooth on the back of that platter and it's smooth on the front, so that the paint has something to stick to. You can't really stencil on smooth glass. So I sandblasted the back of the plate and there we go. So let's keep it moving. There's a lot to see, but we're going to focus on stencils today. And
Can you find a place to talk to the camera, and I need to change this battery. So
okay.
you tell me where you want to stand. And
how about over here? I'll wait here and you're changing the battery. and I'll talk about, well, here's our Christmas tree. It's still Christmas, but it's gonna stay up because I like the lights and the festive. And I give myself permission to dress and adorn my home the way that makes me happy. And I am happy creating, so I just love to keep creating. And it is a meditative, serene space. It's happy making, stepping into the creative flow. Expressing emotions is healing. It's also feelings initiate thoughts. So there's only good about feeling, expressing it in a respectful way, which is creativity, and using it to step back from things, even the painful stuff. There's beautiful things to learn from. Even the difficult things, there's something good in everything. Some things are very challenging to find the good in them, and we have to really process to get there. But it's our right to do that and not have any regrets even about the difficult stuff we've been through, which is the attitude that I guess is the reason so many people encourage me to write my life stories, because I've been through stuff that I've mentioned before in other live streams, that a judge said, her story's like the women on death row. How come she's so nice? This judge said to my girlfriend who was dating him, and we had a long dinner together, and so I thought, well, maybe I could help other people get through their tough stuff by sharing how I've gotten through mine, which is I deserve to be happy. I didn't bring that stuff on myself. I didn't do it to myself. So how can I reclaim my happiness? Well, that's turning it into something that I can let go of any taking it personal and turn it into something that can help others. That's a beautiful thing that can come from even tough stuff. So let's go up the stairs. I turned my little twinkle lights into a way to highlight the cranes that go all the way up the stairs.
Ding.
Pardon me?
That was my comment bell. Ding.
Oh, yes.
Wow, just stunning. Love this home and all the art it's filled with from anybody out there on YouTube.
Nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, let's keep it going. Yeah. Up the stairs. So of my 500 paintings, drawings, prints, the highest number of my subject matter would be the cranes. Bodhi's biggest collection, besides his memorabilia, games and movies from his childhood and his technological tools, would be his Nutcracker collection. So I liked how I redid these lights to go along these scroll frames that I made myself, besides doing the art and Bodhi making the prints here at the Emerald Lady of my art. I also made these scroll frames, which were, as you know, framing can be very expensive. I frame all my own stuff. For that reason, I have since pretty much the beginning of doing art and showing it, becoming a professional artist. But I also love simple solutions. So these are my prints in their acid-free glassines, in these fabric scroll frames, which I'll get into the frame designs I've done and how to make them in upcoming visits. So keep coming back and we'll keep the creativity flowing. So here's an example of the wing stencil that I did from that piece of original art that's on the cover of my memoir. There's a way I've used that. And turn on once. So show some stuff up close,
Sure.
like the SARS cranes on your left there while I turn on lights, and
Okay.
maybe one of these dense, the West African crown crane and the SARS on your left, and I'll turn on lights.
Here's a 13 by 19 print of the West African crowned crane. And right now we have the glass scenes. That's what these lines that you're seeing are. They're basically just slight wrinkles. We ship these in archival glass scenes, which are UV protected and will protect the archival paper and pigment inks so that they will last 200 plus years without yellowing or fading. Tigger Tiramisu said, I love those beautifully delicate scroll frames.
Thank you.
And as you can see, my mom has these twinkle lights. I'm going to give you a better view from up here, but they stair step down the frames. Oh, she just unplugged those. Twinkle lights got unplugged.
What?
Twinkle lights got unplugged.
Okay.
So the cool thing about this staircase is it gives us the opportunity to have a 360 view of the Christmas tree. No, you have to press the button for these twinkle lights.
That worked?
That worked. So let's show you guys what it looks like from up here. We've got the big kimono-shaped window. That's a view people don't normally see. The very top of a Christmas tree. All right. Would you like me to come in there?
Sure. So the examples of stencil used for home decor is this silk scarf I did of cranes on the bedspread. We'll show those. Did you show the table and screen? Well, let's show the screens first. So here are 3 different stencil examples. The feathers. And you got the leaves and this table here.
I will get the table. I'm getting the leaves right now.
And then the other feathers, screen on your right, and then the couch and bed.
So these are examples of stencils, but she also went in and embellished them with pencil to add in some extra detail, drew in the lines of the feathers. Let me turn down my headphones so you guys don't end up hearing them echoing. Here's the crane bedspread.
You showed that. Let's go show the studio. There's more examples. Let's show them this. I think you're never too old to be young, so I have a bunny that my mother sewed the face on, and characters from our favorite movies, and Felix the cat with his bag of tricks, and we have Jack Skellington and from Spirited Away and Totoro, and so, and in here we have stencil, more of the wings on the two tables. And then you can show this on the way out. That table and then this. That table has wings on it too. And this is
I can't show that whole wall.
okay, that's fine. We'll do that in another tour. So here's some more scarves, stencil scarves. And show the stenciling. This is the bathroom that I'm going to put that hot fuchsia colored curtain, the sheer back over this doorway into my closet with that stencil on it when I clean that up. But Bodhi, you show the rest of this and then come on over to the guest room.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. So you can show the pillows and the warblers and wildflowers and that scroll frame idea. So these are my little prints in my hand painted dowel frames. There's one original in there. I'm gonna fix a light.
Want me to help you?
That's all right. Show the bedspread and the pillows and
Yep.
Okay, so here's a closet that is got all the sewing supplies and all the stencil outfits I'm doing to show, you know, I'm trying to have an example of each stencil. And so these are the things I've done and the things I'm going to do as we keep putting out more stencils. All of these outfits I put together from used store clothing, so it's all very economical and ecological because it doesn't go into the landfill. It goes somewhere it's appreciated. So let's show you the sewing closet. And I'll go up while you're showing that and turn the lights on upstairs.
Okay. These are prints that she stenciled her botanical stencils on. All of these are available on patreon.com/Clare Cooley. You can purchase these stencils for $3 a pop, these stencil SVGs, or you can become a member and you will get them as part of your membership fee. So yeah, those are really nice. She's been stenciling those live recently. Hello there, here I am again. We meet again. All right, guys, I just had to come all the way back downstairs to get it working again. But it is in fact working. Right? 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 Let's see. Let's Why are you so slow? Why? Okay, how we doing, guys?
That's
Computer, turn on
computer,
office.
turn on office.
Okay.
Okay.
Things look a
Things
little
look
bit
a
better.
little bit better.
Testing. There we go.
There
We're
we
back.
go.
Okay,
We're back.
guys.
Okay, guys, let's go back upstairs. Good fun. Good fun. Let's go take the tour all the way back upstairs to where we left off. Don't worry. Computer, turn off office. Here we go. We are making our way back upstairs. Let's turn this on-camera light around. Vlog style. So all right. There's just let's see. Let's see. The internet connection is not 100% up, all the way up on the 3rd floor in the attic. Whew, it's actually kind of heavy. Okay, waiting for my mother to come back.
I'm here.
All righty.
Show the pillows that are another example of that water lily.
All right, you want me to show the pillows?
So these pillows are that same water lily I was doing at the beginning of this virtual visit. And we will, that's in gold, silver in my restroom.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
All right, let's walk through our twinkle zone.
Always more lights to turn on, huh?
Pretty much. That's as you can see, I love light, and my name means, the meaning for Clare, clear, bright. My middle name means light, and my last name can mean hot lava flow under the earth. So light below, light above. I love light. I guess my mother knew that when she named me before. I even knew what my names meant. I've always loved light. Who doesn't love light? Come on, really. So let's look at the 18 flower. A wonderful thing to have, especially in the shades of gray season, to have all this color. And we also have some of the same floral stencil designs in the pillows. So this is just Well, like sleeping in a bed of flowers. And then we have this is guest quarters for people that come to do creativity retreats with me as a creativity coach. So this is the water theme in here with the fish and the shells and the turtles and the seahorses. All of these stencil designs will be coming out one after another. So show a little seahorses after the shell, and then show out the window.
Yeah, it's foggy today. The window got fogged up, but
Bottom one is not.
yeah, but it's got a mosquito net.
Okay, so we can't really. We can show out the window in here. So show
They saw out the window.
show the seahorses, and then we can show out this window, and then the bed of flowers, and show why the colors are so uplifting.
Which window?
I'd say show out this window. It's got a screen on it, but you can still get the shades of gray, and then to the colors.
Oh yeah.
And then colors, and then we've covered this space. And okay.
Alrighty.
I'll follow you down, turning off lights. One of my eccentricities, I don't like to waste anything, so I'll have to undo the lights when we're not using them.
This is a hand-carved piece of plexiglass that she made with a heron on it, and a big branch, big vines. Okay.
So you were talking about that plexiglass carving,
Yep.
etching. That etching, that plexiglass etching I did with a nail. Did you show the dragonfly etching on the vase and on the table? All right, let's head down.
All right.
Get some detail on the way by.
Well, let's find a good spot for me to set this down where you can talk to it.
In the living room.
Great.
I'm following you.
All righty.
All right, let's go back into the living room and do some living. I'm going to finish this later. not right now, but I'm going to say that I love doing these stencils and sharing my designs with you, sharing what I've learned over the years of giving myself permission to create in many different ways, as you've seen, just stencil examples throughout the Emerald Lady. We're going to keep going with the creativity show and show you things I've done with sticks and stones and beach glass and all kinds of home decor, wardrobe, jewelry. I love to give myself the joy of creating anything that I'd like to have in my life so that I get the happiness increasing of being creative while I'm doing it, and then I get to enjoy it as a jewelry or wardrobe or environment and make gifts. I can always afford something that I can give as gifts. This year we walked around the neighborhood and passed out gifts to 49, 50 people, 51. There's still more to come that have been kind to us since we moved here 8 years ago. And that they say, they've researched this, that giving gifts makes us slightly more happy than receiving them. So I love giving gifts, and even as a fine artist, sometimes I have had very little extra, no extra actually, funds, but I can always figure out some way to economically, ecologically make gifts to acknowledge people. And when we make things with our own hands and heart, it's precious to our loved ones. They treasure it because they know we put our time into it, our energy, our love. And so I say, use your creativity to make yourself happier and make your loved ones happier by making them gifts, sharing your creativity, your style, whatever it is that makes you happy. Those who care about you, their happiness will be increased by yours increasing. So it's good for you, it's good for the world, and create more, consume less. Good for you, good for the world. Economical, ecological, good for you, good for the world. So may this year increase the peace on the planet by each one of us knowing we can, by how we act, how we think, what we do. We can increase peace in ourselves, which ripples out like throwing a stone on a pond. The ripples of peace and happiness will reverberate out from us. So I hope there's something here that helps inspire you, empower you to enjoy your own imagination, creatively collaborate with others, and increase the peace and happiness in your life and in the lives of all of us. We're all in this together. We're all connected. So stay curious, stay creative, and come back every Monday and Thursday at noon Central Time. I'm going to be sharing some creativity one way or another. And Bodhi does his live streams Wednesdays and Saturdays at 4 Central Time. And he's the other end of the spectrum of creativity, the technical, and so together we got the hands-on and then we got the technical. So hope there's something here that inspires you and that you tell a friend, and come back and let us know what you think. Any suggestions? I love criticism that comes from love. I'm always trying to get better. Yes?
Moving said on YouTube, how old is your home? Love it. How do you choose the color palette for each room?
Good questions. The home is 120 years old. It's actually, we didn't know when we purchased it that it's in the Atlas of American Architecture. There's spectacular homes here in this region because at the turn of the century there was such vital businesses here and more millionaires than any place else in the world at the time. So they built these grand old homes, and ours is humble compared to a lot of them, but it has a unique architecture, so it got into that book, and it was on the market for 10 years before we chose it and stepped up to do the enormous amount of deferred maintenance that no one else wanted to step up and do or pay for. And we have Polishing the Emerald Lady. Bodie named it the Emerald Lady, first saw it. And Polishing the Emerald Lady on Mother Son Productions shows us restoring it. We also have videos of restoring our carriage house, turning it into a studio. We can do art, do video, even skate dance in. So those videos are out there. On Mother Son Productions, Bodie named us. He asked me to work with him and named us. And on the Creativity Show, I believe. You can find him either place. And so the color schemes, first of all, there's a lot of white or off-white or cream in the Emerald Lady because I have so much art, and the more light that gets reflected in the dark times, the better for our happiness, and the more neutral and bright, the better the art and the furniture, that some of which I've designed and painted, but all of it gets a bright, neutral backdrop. In each areas, I try to pick a color theme. So the living room is kind of the gold yellow color scheme, and the dining room is greens because it's so nurturing and so many plants that feed us and feed animals, and the celadon dishes I made in that cabinet, so that's green. The kitchen is orange color scheme, and then upstairs, Bodhi's room is kind of indigo with the browns, and mine is the mauves and the lavender, my bedroom. And then on the third floor, we have red that I've kept going even though we've passed Christmas. I'll probably keep it going until the snow melts, because it's just such a deep and rich place. So all the colors of the spectrum and the rainbow, the chakras, however you want to look at it, each area of the house. The guest bedroom, blue. The forever spring room, full of flowers and birds. So no matter how cold or how long it's snowy and cold, which happens here to be a long time, most winters, if not all winters. So there's always a place in the house that's full of flowers and birds and forever spring to go and relax in. So most of the house, the walls are white or off-white or cream, but the color scheme of each room has its own color scheme, so the whole rainbow is represented. So color is very important for happiness. It increases our happiness, and I love doing colorful things, especially in the winter. So thank you for asking.
They also said, also, your art is simply amazing. I really enjoy your design sense.
Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. I follow my heart. I showed you the first bird, the first thing that I ever did as a painting, because he was going to throw that stuff away, and I wanted to demonstrate that it can be used and valued, and that doesn't have to go and be wasted in a landfill and pollute the earth. And then I did Sumi brush strokes for meditation. And then I moved to Duluth, or I was passing through Duluth, and 9 people in one day asked me to stay and teach. And I missed the birds so much, and the flowering things, that I went to the library and got books on birds and did essence drawings that were pen and ink, just as few lines as possible to represent each bird. And then I went to the plant conservatory down in the Twin Cities and did plants the same way, lines that looked like they could grow or fly. And so my art comes from my heart and my love of nature. And my classically trained mother said, you know, you follow your own love and curiosity. See, you don't, you know, the rules don't matter for you. I do not disparage technique. I think there's a different way can be appropriate and beautiful for each person. My way is to follow my heart and not really hold myself back with rules and techniques, and but some people, that's their way. I will say that I've heard studies on people that graduate from fine art schools. Very small percentage of them are doing their fine art. I don't remember numbers well, so I'm not going to try to quote the numbers, but a very small percentage of people that graduate from fine art schools with a degree are doing their art a few years later. And then a few years after that, even fewer of them are doing their art. And, you know, I've done many things, from working on the boats and being a janitor, planting trees, painting houses, running restaurants, whatever I needed to pay my, I've always done my art. But these people that get, you know, through these educational systems often are not doing their art. Why? And my answer, my observation is, constructive criticism coming from love and wanting us to be better can be rare. A lot of people are competitive, and a lot of people are unhappy, and they're following rules. Well, creativity, basically the essence of it is that it's new. It's our own authentic vision. It's our own unique, nobody else is like us. So why should our art look like someone else, and why should other people critique it? So I think the highly competitive and the critiquing, unfortunately, in the system often tears at people's spirit. And where creativity happens is in our sensitive, vulnerable, real feeling place. And so we have to protect that. And I am very careful, have been very careful in my life, not to let, well, the unkind and cruel things people can say, and they can say them, stay. I just try to let it pass through if it happens, when it happens, and it will happen to all of us, and hold tight the kind, beautiful, nurturing, encouraging things people say, and let the rest just go like a bad smell. Just let it pass by. Hold your breath as it goes by, and take in and wrap yourself up in the wonderful things people say, and repeat them to yourself. And I was blessed with a mother who just was a champion of my individuality and my way, and didn't impose her way or anyone else's way on me. And I try to do that with my son. And I'm very proud that he has written his own over 100,000 word novel and learned all this technological stuff so we can share our love with you. So there you go. Love yourself and be your own champion. Be like your own child. that you're protecting from the cruelty in the world when you're creating, and love yourself for trying. There are no failures if we're learning from everything we do. And just like this didn't work out, I'll work on it and make it beautiful. I just don't need to prove anything to anybody and have it work immediately every time. Life is a process, creativity is a process. Just keep going, keep giving yourself permission to enjoy it, and share what you love with the world. How's that?
Fantastic. And Madeline said, "Hi, Claire. Thank you for letting us see into your beautiful home."
Thank you for being here, Madeline. I really appreciate all of you here, and I love it when you guys speak up and say hi. And I feel connected to you, and I feel like you're here with me, and I can feel you, and that's really sweet and a gift you're giving me. And thank you. And I love doing these virtual visits. So are we good?
We are. All right. Great job. If I missed any of your comments, if I missed anybody's comments, I'll make sure she sees them before she goes live on Monday at 4.
No, Monday at noon.
Right. Monday at noon.
Monday and Thursday at noon for me. Bodie's Wednesday and Saturday at 4 Central Time for both of us. And hope you come back, and hope you tell a friend. And please, I love to hear what you're creating, what you're doing, what you're thinking about doing, and help you any way I can to enjoy your creativity. All right. Bye-bye.